I was thinking a little bit more like 49-51.
No, you should.
In your favor.
You should have it
in your
at
favor.
least 50. It's important to us that we get all the liability. Can we structure it that way? What? Do you have a sense of assets needed? I don't think it's much.
I don't think it is.
I think it's a lot of it can be done with
The key would be that that whatever, if there was anything where there was value accretion, that was an asset that was in the JV. That and on either side. So we just have to figure out, is there anything? I don't know that there is, but.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, it still seems, I like simple. The more simplicity we can achieve, I think the better.
Get out of the room right now.
And to me, there's still just like maybe it's in the pitch, but there's some complexity between steps 2 and 3. Like if I'm on the client journey, what does step 3 mean?
Which client are you? The client that's referring, or the client that's the customer that is
Customer.
the company?
Customer.
Okay.
What's your complexity?
Yeah.
What's your complexity?
Between steps 2 and 3. It's like, hey, Chris, I paid my $5K. I don't care how you guys split it up. I'm the customer. I paid my $5K. We do this consultation. I'm like, oh my gosh, pointed out so many holes. What do I do?
So you're going to pay $50K.
Boom.
And for the next night. And well, what we're going to do is you're looking at us and we're looking at you and helping you actually grow your company. And what we need to do is get through the next 90 days. It's $50,000. We're going to train and educate you, your managers, and any other key players. And what we're going to do during the next 90 days is we're going to give you a taste of what it looks like to have us as partners helping you grow your company. And I'm positive that we're going to identify X and Y and Z. We're going to build X and Y and Z. And after 90 days, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to see so much value.
Sorry, I had an idea. Keep going.
I want to hear your idea too.
Hold on, I want to hear this pitch too. It's all mine.
Keep pitching.
Yeah. We want to understand. Ryan, you just threw off the emperor.
I'm sorry.
Don't throw off his crew.
You said after 90 days you're going to see so much value.
One of two things will happen. Either you're going to say, this was amazing, the training was incredible, I got everything I needed and I'm out. Or you're going to say, if that's just the beginning of what we're going to do together, I now want to look at having you guys on as partners. We're going to sit down, we're going to talk about what a consult for equity deal is going to look like, and we'll figure out whether we're a fit for each other.
I just don't think we can fix everything in my business in 90 days.
You're not supposed to. The next 90 days is something you understand.
That's a
Solutions.
self-service model.
What's up, Kris Krohn here. I am pausing my own podcast to make sure that you have my cell phone number. Because as you're listening and thinking to yourself, man, I wish I could text Kris and ask him a real estate question or a business question, a marriage question, a health question, I got news for you. The phone number is right here. It's 385-217-3477. Save this in your phone and literally start texting me right now. Just drop your name and say, hey, Kris, it's whoever you are, and ask me a simple question. Let's go.
Here we're giving you the information, go take it.
The way I saw the console ongoing, the 25K or the 50K, it's been as much as 180, is that what you're getting is like for the 25Ks that I do, it's what we're going to do during that time is we're going to figure out what is it going to take to get you to where you want to be from where you are. We're going to identify the gap and the things that need to happen to make the gap close. That's it. And then after that, you can go and execute that plan yourself with your team, or what I hope will happen is that you'll be so impressed with what I'm able to come up with that you'll decide that you'd like to have me be part of the company to help you realize that plan. Okay. So I have a little concern if you're doing everything that you're talking about for 90 days, that you're going to have a lot of people that decide to go it on their own and they don't convert into the equity
because it is so good readily because it's so much.
But you know what that's called? That's just split test and trial it out, and then you adjust it what you need to do. You ultimately, I mean, this is the goal, and this is an interim, and everyone's getting paid along the way. And my mind is already filling up with ideas, Carson, of how I'm going to convert these people into this. And it has to do with the rhetoric. It has to do with the posture. It has to do with, okay, for those of you that are new, let me tell you what's going to happen in 90 days. And I've already got your quarterbacks here. They're going to be gathering this information, watching and learning, doing these different things. And at 90 days, we're building the plan. And when we sit down, I'm going to be presenting the plan after these 90 days based on everything that we learned from you.
I guess there's the disconnect too, because it's like, hey, if we don't do this, all that stuff goes away.
Yeah, it may be that the CEO bootcamp is not actually what happens in the first 90 days. It may be a variation of it. Here's a way to make it completely congruent. We got a 10K minimum here. if you say the way that this works is when we do this, we've got a 10K minimum, and so what you do is you pay basically a $30,000 advance for the first 90 days, and this is us getting to work with you. What do you get from this? You're gonna get value way above. I realize, by the way, that 30 is less than 50, which is why I don't like it.
But keep going. I've been trying to rectify it.
But to be able to stick on
I can tell you that you do not need 90 days. I mean, 30 days is a lot of days to do
Well,
this.
to be honest, like everything we teach in CEO Bootcamp, they cannot implement in 90 days.
Right.
Like Kris said,
But we don't need to wait 90 days. To me, that's an artificial time that doesn't take that long to convert. If our goal is convert, then I think that's too much time.
No, I actually love what Roland's saying. So actually go with this idea because we have a history of our magic number of upselling and being on week 5.
Yeah.
That's what we have found, which is if you have 4 consecutive weeks of value and the 5th one is a sales call to go into the upgrade, that's enough time to deliver
100%.
insane massive value.
Yes.
Interesting.
So Carson, what he's saying is we're going to take from this and basically build a model where we can put people through a shorter sales cycle, build value, but only enough value to actually get to the longer contract. And we're going to build it based on the biggest pitfalls, trials and errors, and things that we learned in the consultation so we know what to hit.
Is it just 2 levels?
Yeah.
it's just a 5K.
Is it 2 or 10K? You know, I mean, you kind of meet in the middle and you say it's, you know, or 20K and 15K. Like, I mean, at some point it's like, look, we're gonna do this stuff.
Well, I don't mind it being more out of sync because the lift in the beginning is a lot heavier.
Always, yeah. And so to just try to get it, and to go into point, it's like, look, what we are going to do is it basically gets it into what Roland's already doing,
Yeah.
right? What Roland does in a half day, we do over 5 weeks.
I guess the way you guys operate is probably similar to the way we operate, which is we always let the market decide and we let data decide. So it's a really fun debate, and all we're really debating is what's the best start. But the reality is, if you fast forward 9 months from now, we should have arrived at, we've tested 9 things, and we've learned the way that these leads, where they come from, their type and quality, how they best sell, because they've educated us on how to sell them at the highest conversion rate. So whether it's 1 half-day consultation, whether it's a 5-week program, or whether it's a 90-day, I don't care. We're up to the task of building whatever it is. It's just more about evaluating the data.
I do agree that 90 days, not in terms of price, not in terms of any model like that, 90 days might be too long for them to make it.
If you know 5 weeks is the thing, then it seems to me like it's.
That's where
That's what we would probably start
It
with.
seems to me like it's a 4-week program, and it's
Potential
informed by.
Hey, 4 value adds, final consultation.
And then not show up and get overwhelmed and all those other things.
Whereas 5 weeks, they're still hot. All right, let's do a 4-week program.
It's like a 4-week pre-CEO
Yep.
bootcamp.
Yeah, and and I hear you, but like
We call it CEO buds.
And you know the best part of rotating every month is, at the rate that you onboard, you can group of 5 people monthly,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? It's like your start date is
You
in
always
2
have
weeks.
a cohort starting once
Yep.
a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I actually like that you can master much more quickly and through iteration that sales cycle and sales process, and then you have all 4 sessions that are building up to the main consultation to negotiate the deal. They've test driven enough.
Well,
Smart.
You literally tripled your test velocity.
Correct.
If you go from
that's the best part is you get 52, you get 12 opportunities and you're not 4.
Right.
For adjusting your data.
So for that reason alone, where you start, where you finish is never the same place, but like start with the thing that's simplest.
The amount of money is going to be the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what do we want? You know, we want to get about.
It might end up being 25K for 5 weeks.
I think it's 25K for a half day.
I know,
It ain't even
but that's
that
Roland.
big.
But that's Roland Fraser.
It ain't even that, but we got people that are not over to do it. Yeah. So I think it's 25K for the days are generally irrelevant. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
You don't tie it to days. You say for 25K, we're going to deliver this package of stuff to you.
And the nice thing is, I mean, we'll actually make money off of that. So, you know, it's nice to make money at that level too, which gives you then money to put into media, to do other things, you know.
And now when they're in the delivery Ceo bootcamp,
It's actually going to be
Not the
higher
sales process.
ROI running at that model, and then it's more quickly getting to that.
And we're rolling 1 into 2 at this point, right?
Yeah.
They're all one and the same.
if you only have 4,
meetings in that time period, they're more likely to show up for them.
Right.
It's not like, oh, if I miss this week, I'll just
Yeah.
attend next. It's like, no, that's a 25% of the total trainings they're
Right.
giving me.
Right.
I like this a lot.
I think we paid like 15 grand to Jim Do. Was it 15 or 25 grand for his 2-month assessment process? And then after 2 months, they came and then they sat down and did the
You know,
consultation.
when he did his first consult with me, it was $2,300, so you're welcome.
He is charging 25K now though.
Yeah, and it applied towards the whatever, so it was a really good sales model. But for a company that's serious, that it's the level we're talking about here, 25 grand, it's like, dude, if you flinch at that, then you're not serious about, well, you're not
100%. It's a qualifier.
Yeah.
And you could say, and then, we're gonna get in, and then, now we'll get into the actual deal. When we're done doing this thing and delivering tremendous value, you get to, you choose.
Yeah.
It's on you. Do you
It's
want
about training, it's about educating, it's about learning. And that's what we're gonna do for the next, until we've hit all these deliverables.
We paid fucking, when we were thinking about doing a round or an exit on native back in the day, we paid dairy 25.
Yeah.
Okay? And it was like what was it? It was
a half day.
They did basically a workshop kind of thing where they came out and taught us basic stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think it could be a power day type thing, because we talk about it being 4 meetings. It literally could be, this is what the program is. We're going to do this for you, and that's again an aspect of the voodoo that you're doing, and we're going to present this. But then we're also going to ask you to come to this thing, and we offer this thing multiple times a week, and you can pick the one that you come to. Mm-hmm. So it's not even that everybody needs to show up at the same one. And so, and when you're done with that, you're going to go to this other thing, where we're going to do this other thing that is also offered. Mm-hmm. Like this one's always offered on a Tuesday, and this one's always offered on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And you're going to come to these, and we're going to figure it out and have this conversation. I mean, figure out what it is, so I don't know that I would necessarily program it around a call a week.
I agree with you on that.
It's just what is the end result that we want to,
we have to deliver these 4 modules
Yeah.
as a part of our evaluation process and education and training process, and you might get through them in 10 days. Like, the point is, it's not about time, it is about getting through the material, learning and growing, and basically setting up for a killer sales process on the people that you want.